Hello, this is Peter Berry with Juicy Sacred Living with
Hey,
my beautiful, amazing, wonderful, wise wife, Licia Berry.
thank you so much.
That and so much more.
Hi, everybody. We're here today to start a new video series with you
Mhm.
called Mending the Divide. We are looking for sacred union inside and out, personally, in relationship, and everywhere in
Mhm.
this amazing world. We have a mission to bring sacred union um, forward in this on this planet in our lifetime, and we're practicing it. We've been together for 30. It'll be 32 years on
August
August
12th.
12th,
Yeah,
and we have been embodying it and working to embody it. So we know we are living the things that we talk about, and we would love to share some wisdom with you, some stuff that we have learned.
absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about what masculine and feminine energy are, because a lot of people confuse that with male and female.
And what does that have to do with sacred union?
Yeah, of course. Um, Sacred union is the marriage of opposites, and feminine and masculine energy are the opposites that construct the fabric of the universe.
Down to the atom at an atomic level. As I've been teaching for over a decade. The atom is comprised of the positive charge, the negative charge, and a neutral charge. So the proton is the positive, the electron is the negative, and the neutron is the neutral charge. If you look at that model, you understand that positive and negative are opposite of one another. And it's another way of talking about the yin and the yang, or
Mhm.
the feminine and the masculine energy. Now, we do use these words because these are the words that we have been guided to use. However, when we use the words feminine and masculine, it tends to trigger people about what they think about feminine and masculine in men and women. And so we wanted to kind of tease that out and try to separate the concepts of feminine and masculine energy from the idea of man woman, so that we can really examine what those qualities of energy are and how they are in everybody, because we're all made of atoms. If you're in this physical universe, if you're watching this video, then you're made of atoms.
That's right.
And so you're made of feminine and masculine energy, or yin and yang energy. Um, to your very core, everything in the physical universe is. So in our idea of sacred union, it is about bringing together the opposites, because nature shows us that the feminine and the masculine, or the positive and negative charge, the yin and the yang, work seamlessly together to form the physical universe. It's only in the human psyche that
Right.
we can actually choose to operate outside and to buck the system of nature.
Right. Because we have free will.
Right?
So that's why we have to be conscious of how these polarities, how these energies work within us. Because we have free will and we can step outside of natural law, it's a choice to be in natural law as well.
To be operating in alignment with
Right, in
natural
alignment
law.
with natural law and seeking sacred union. So what's really interesting to me, and it took me a while to get this, when Licia first started bringing this information through and we really started discussing it, is that we have feminine and masculine parts within us, that we are comprised of those two polarities, and some may be, one side may be more dominant. So in me, early in our relationship, certainly the feminine was the strongest part. That was the part that I was embodying the most. I was way over in feminine energy, and I've been learning to move into masculine energy over the last 32 years. And when I do that, that allows me then to bring those two parts together. That makes me whole. When I'm in sacred union internally, that gives me the chance to form sacred union with my beloved, my partner, and create a world for us that's phenomenal to live in.
Yeah, and so what we're going to be doing is creating, as I said, a whole series of videos called Mending the Divide, in which we're going to examine the qualities of feminine energy and the qualities of masculine energy and how that looks when we bring those together into partnership in ourselves and in relationship, because the dynamic is very powerful when you're in partnership internally. Then you're powerful by yourself. When you're in partnership in those energies and they're working together, aligned in a single focus, then you are mega powerful, like super explosively powerful. And so we love working with leaders, personally, as well as couples, who are leaders, to work with that feminine masculine partnership. Some people say balance, and balance actually isn't quite the right word, because balance is constantly shifting and changing. Balance is something that can be achieved, but it's fleeting, and the moment of balance might be static, but then all the work that happens to put something into balance is not static. It's actually pretty chaotic. And so we are using the word partnership because that's how we were told to talk about these two opposing energies, opposite energies, not opposing, opposite energies, working together. Because if they work together, it's a seamless union, it's a sacred union, and then all things are possible. All kinds of things, like miraculous, ridiculous, amazing things are possible.
It can lead you to places of joy and bliss and connection that you've never experienced before. I certainly never have. And that space is that sort of 0 point where all things are possible. I think a lot of times we get stuck in a road that we think we have to pass, that we think we have to travel. And when we're in that sacred union, individually and in relationship, it opens up so many possibilities that weren't there before. And it gives us the chance to really explore our universe, both internally and the external universe, in a different way, in a way that really is fulfilling and deeply satisfying.
So, shall we talk about the feminine and the masculine a little bit right now?
Yeah, I think we should, but I want to talk about relationship for just a moment. So when we talk about relationship, we're not talking about just intimate relationship. We're talking about families. We're talking about business partnerships. We're talking about work relationships. In fact, relationship is defined as any time two or more come together under a single intention. So that could be a lot of different things. It could be a church group. It could be any sort of organization.
It could be a mastermind. It could be a group of people who care about an issue. A protest group. It could be a belief, support group. It could be a recovery group. Any kind of a group situation.
Right. So that's why I wanted to talk about relationship. In case people think this only applies to intimate relationships, it is the way we relate to the world that sacred union applies to.
So, feminine, what is that? What is feminine energy? The people who've been watching me and reading my work, and my students and clients and readers, know that I talk about this fairly exhaustively. Because of my journey to recover my feminine self, and to heal the parts of me that were resistant, to feminine energy. As a woman and a mom, and a partner, I needed quite a bit of re-education about what feminine energy is, and so I want to just describe what I know about the feminine. When I tapped into the feminine energy, and again, I don't mean female, I mean feminine energy, I felt very clearly, and was given information to describe what I felt, that the feminine is connective. The very primary quality of feminine energy is that it is connecting. That means it's inclusive. That means it's magnetic. That means it's receptive. that means that it is holding space, that means that it's fluid and accepting, and it loves like no other. It just loves, and because it's connective, it knows what's good for the whole. It's the wisdom that lets us know if something we're considering doing is benefiting everyone or not. If it's a win-win-win situation or not. And so the feminine is that source, that depth of worldview that really understands what it means to take care of everybody. So for me, feminine energy was the very thing I rebelled against, because growing up in our Western culture, I understood that masculine energy and looking like a man or acting like a man was what I needed to do to survive, to make it through. And feminine was too soft. Feminine was weak. Feminine was too vulnerable. So I covered that over and pushed it away, and just became this kick-ass, woman who was like, going out there and getting it and pushing hard and shoving my feelings away and kind of doing what I had been taught masculine energy was. But once I came into understanding of my feminine energy and was able and willing to truly reclaim it and truly inhabit it, embody it, I experienced an extraordinary transformation in my life. And then I could re-educate the masculine energy that I had also been uneducated about, incorrectly informed about.
Masculine energy is the energy of individuation. It's concerned with what the individual does. And when unpartnered, is not concerned with the whole. It's all about me, right?
Not we.
Not we.
Or win.
Right. So it's about expression, being electric, going out and getting things, the hunter, but.
And the border boundary person.
Right. Protector, defender.
Mm-hmm. Because by its nature, since it's individuated, it's exclusive. That means it says no to some things. Like some things are not okay, or some things don't belong.
Absolutely. And, I mentioned earlier that early in our relationship, I was in the feminines because I had ideas that the masculine was scary, because I had been exposed to predatory and emasculated masculine men in my life, and they did bad things to me. So I associated men doing bad things with me because of their wounded masculine as masculine energy itself being bad, and I rejected it. So knowing now that it is an essential energy in the partnership that forms us means that I can act from a place of partnered energy, which is a totally different thing because it's informed by the feminine. Is that better? Or am I still going way down the rabbit hole too fast?
Yeah. Men did bad things to me. Takes their brain in a place. Again, we're just wanting to introduce and not take them too deep, too fast, and give them too many objections, too fast.
Well, yeah.
You could have said, because my examples of men were not ones that I was comfortable with. When you say, it just takes it down real fast.
Okay.
Maybe you could just take that part out.
Yeah, I think I can just take that part out. Yeah, I can make it make sense from this. Take out the parts that are too far down the rabbit hole too fast. Okay, so we've talked a a little bit about those, about feminine and masculine energy. And so what should be next?
What the divide is.
Okay. So what is the divide that you see?
The divide that, as I experience it, and which informs my deep desire to mend it, mm-hmm. is that there's a gap, a lack of partnership between feminine and masculine energy in many places in humanity. Again, informed by how we think, how we behave, how our culture teaches us to think and behave, how we believe, things that we believe, that there's a divide between our own self, that I know this from my own self, a divide between where my feminine and my masculine energy are working together in a seamless way towards my happiness, towards my health, towards my success, towards my expression in the world. I notice the divide in the women that I work with, because I nurture introspective women leaders into greater impact, in their chosen medicine. Mm-hmm. I notice that the places where they trip themselves up are the places where the feminine and masculine energy are unpartnered, where there's a gap, where there's a divide between them. So what that could look like, for example, is the feminine is concerned with the wisdom of the whole and has all this wonderful inspiration and ideas. Mm-hmm. The masculine is the doer, is the action taker. It's that energy of go out there and make it happen. And that there are many very inspired, very purpose-driven people out there who have wonderful ideas, but in terms of actually making things happen, they fall down, they self-sabotage, they don't have the will, they don't have the passion, the fire, to push when it's the right time to push, or to snag the opportunity when the opportunity shows up, to catch the fish when it's right there, So that's an unpartnered feminine masculine energy. That's just one example. It can go either way. It can go both ways. It can look like so many different kinds of things. Sometimes people are out there kicking butt, doing stuff, and they're not informed by their feminine. They're not partnering with their deep inner wisdom, the deep wisdom that knows what's good for all and keeps us also spiritually accountable in alignment with our larger purpose.
Right. So for the visual learners out there, something I had to get was, if you imagine the yin yang, the black and the white are together, that's partnership. Mm-hmm. When they're not, there's this separation, right? So if you can see light, if they're not touching, that's that separation, the feminine and the masculine energy connected in partnership or separated from each other.
And another way of talking about it is a circuit. An electric circuit is formed when a positive and negative charge come together. Will you demonstrate, please? Positive, negative coming together, there's a circuit. Mm-hmm. And a circuit, can only be formed when those two come together electrically. When the positive and negative aren't together, or the feminine and masculine are not together, there's no circuit. There's no power there. This is the gap. That's the divide that we're talking about. And it's the one that we have a real passion to mend in this world, because we see in all of our lives, all these things that aren't working so great, and how the world really could be a wonderful place for everyone to live in. Everyone being taken care of, everyone, having what they need, and having the love and respect and safety in the world. So our mission about Sacred Union and Mending the Divide is so that there is that love, safety, respect, peace, happiness for everyone, the ability to hold the space for a world that we really all would like to see.
Right. A world where everybody is winning, where there are no more zero-sum games, where someone has to lose for me to win. No more of that. That is
unpartnered masculine.
Yeah. unpartnered masculine. And if you go to all the world's problems and you come from a point of view of, if we were operating in sacred union, then I think we would start to find the solutions to the problems that we face now. Because we would be concerned with ourselves, but we would also be concerned with everybody else we are in contact with. The good of the whole would be a part of our equation. And we would not be so concerned with having power over other people, but sharing power with people and creating a world where everybody feels safe and powerful to produce a change that's good for the world.
And to cease making war on our own selves internally, which was the biggest piece that I have found in doing the work that we do, which we call Sacred Systems. And we want to invite you. We've got several things coming up, but the most present one is that we have a retreat in September, September the 17th through 20th in New Mexico, here in the U.S., at Ghost Ranch, the fabulous, amazing, enchanting Ghost Ranch in northern New Mexico. And our retreat is Mending the Divide. It's teaching you how to bring your feminine and masculine into union internally, but then also if you are in a relationship, intimate relationship, or any relationship, that you can apply these principles and actually improve drastically the quality of the relationship and also the greater, perhaps even spiritual purpose of the relationship. So we invite you to come and experience union with us, experience Mending the Divide with us in the gorgeous location of northern New Mexico. We're excited to show you around, show you the land, experience the beautiful place where we've experienced so much transformation. So find out more at the link below, and we hope to see you and join us for the next in the series of Mending the Divide.
Thanks for joining us. Hope to see you in New Mexico.